For many of us, a successful hunt could be measured by the number of people peering into the bed of a pickup truck after a triumphant return from the field. For others, success might be measured with simply notching a tag. And for some, a successful hunt might be just getting away from the office for a few days. Over the years, the Best of the West has been honored to accompany so many different outdoorsmen and women in their hunting achievements. Several years ago, we followed Tony Quick on his Wyoming antelope hunt. Tony was hunting with his son and grandson when he dropped his buck from 1,000 yards away. An incredible shot that not only spans 10 football fields, but spans 3 generations of hunting memories made together with the Quick family. In the fall of 2012, John Porter guided 19-year-old Daly Fredrickson on her first sheep hunt. Daly drew her Rocky Mountain Bighorn tag the first year she applied. Accompanied by her mom, Daly made a great shot on her ram on day 3 of her hunt.
Nice! Nice, girlfriend.
Oh, yes!
Good job, baby.
Sorry.
The first person in her family to ever draw a sheep tag, she set the bar pretty high with a great 9-year-old ram.
That is a dandy old Wyoming ram.
Last year, we followed Joel Tavera on his first bull elk hunt. Joel was severely injured while serving his country overseas in March of 2008. A 122 rocket projectile hit the truck he was riding in, killing 3 of the 5 people inside. Joel was in a coma for 81 days and has received well over 100 surgeries since. Joel sustained 3rd and 4th degree burns across his body. He lost fingers, his right leg, and his sight. But he didn't lose his desire to hunt. With the help and support from groups like Hunting for Heroes and many other great volunteers, Joel was able to kill a 6x6 bull elk from 240 yards away.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
The tag in hand is the true opportunity. Whether a general deer tag in your home state or a once-in-a-lifetime permit that took decades to draw, obtaining the tag in many cases is more difficult than notching the side of it. On this week's episode of the Best of the West, we're privileged to be following Chad Nuckles on his Jicarilla mule deer hunt in New Mexico. The Jicarilla Apache Indian Reservation, located in northwest New Mexico, allows non-natives to apply for a limited amount of mule deer tags each year. Once drawn, the permit is costly but worth it. Bucks taken by clients over the past 5 years have averaged 205 gross Boone and Crockett. Combining great genetics and careful game management, the Jicarilla is a world-class mule deer hunting destination.
So the non-tribal mule deer hunt is scheduled purposely December 1st through 10th, the draw hunts are, mainly because we want clients to come here and see 30 to 60 mature bucks per day. We have been called Sportsman's Paradise. We've been nicknamed Disneyland for mule deer hunters, you name it. So really at the end of the day, what we want is for the folks that come here to have that experience of a lifetime because it truly is a remarkable place. It's a world-class resource and a heck of a hunting opportunity.
I fell in love with mule deer from a very early age, even more so than some of the other Rocky Mountain and Western big game species. Mule deer is my passion. Just really love every opportunity I get to hunt mule deer. And so all my applications are based around that opportunity to hunt my favorite big game trophy animal. I've had the opportunity to take a lot of great quality mule deer over the years, several in the 170, 180 range. And so to have the opportunity to hunt those animals, and on the Jicarilla, for the 4 or 5 days that we were here hunting, I probably saw more trophy deer than I've seen in the past 20 plus years of big game mule deer hunting across the West. That's how spectacular this hunt has been.
When the Best of the West continues, it's opening day on the Jicarilla. Keep it right here on your Long Range Hunting Authority. The Best of the West is brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Zeiss spotting scopes and range-finding binoculars. Huntin' Fool. The Best of the West shooting systems. Defiance Custom Actions. The Wild Sheep Foundation. Huskama Optics and LongRangeStore.com.
So on this hunt, we had the opportunity to have a native guide, Audie. We had Paul as well. What a great opportunity to be in the woods with professional hunters. And what I really enjoyed being out here with like-minded folks is we all had different talents and abilities as far as glassing and hunting. Paul was a tremendous long-range glasser. I felt like I could pick up good deer movement at close to mid-range. Audie was just well-versed all the way around, knew exactly what to look for in the terrain that he lives in year-round. And so we just really had all the strengths playing to our advantage to glass up the number of trophy mule deer that we did.
When it comes down to judging an animal, seeing the quality of it, you know, if it's we're going to harvest it or not, pass on it, it just depends on the hunter. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it really goes down to the hunter. The one thing that is important is having a good time. Laughs, good music, and friendship. And I have been blessed to be able to do this. It's about the overall experience and the opportunity to see the land. We're blessed with a little bit of everything, a lot of pine trees, tabletops, all the way down to sagebrush flats that go for miles.
For this hunt, Chad will be using a custom-built Best of the West rifle. This signature Series 7 mag has been provided by Paul Bourgeois of Best of the West, Arizona.
I started Best of the West, Arizona in early 2019, and I thought when I started the dealership, maybe I would sell a couple scopes, a rifle here and there, and dabble on weekends perhaps, but it took off like wildfire, and the business has grown very, very quickly, and it's been really exciting. I love introducing people to the Huskama and Best of the West shooting systems. Probably 2/3 of my business is taking a customer's existing rifle and transforming it into a long-range shooter. And we do that by adding a Huskama optic, seasoning the barrel if it's a new rifle, performing load development, finding the right round for any given barrel. And once we have the perfect round, we then collect data at 200, 500, and approximately 1,000 yards, and get all the information that we need to create a custom turret for your system. And Huskama scopes are the best hunting scope on the planet. Best of the West rifles just cannot be beat in the industry in terms of quality, accuracy, consistency. So I'm really proud to be representing those brands and introducing those brands not only to Arizona but across the Southwest, and be honored to earn your business. Opening morning, we had the opportunity to glass some low country in the morning, and then we worked up to a little bit higher country in the afternoon, and we came across one of the best, probably the best buck that we saw. He was a giant typical. Audie, our guide, probably put him just over 200 typical, glassed him up for 45 minutes, just a tremendous deer, great backs, good fronts, just had everything.
I don't know why these guys make me make hard decisions on the first day. Not good at big decisions. Oh my God. He just bedded right there. Oh,
Giving you time to think about it.
gosh.
And we were very close to taking that animal, or having the opportunity a chance to take him, and we passed on that for the opportunity to spend more days hunting and seeing trophy quality mule deer, knowing we're passing on a book typical mule deer. But We had the opportunity to see many, many more quality deer over the course of the days. And on most western mule deer hunts, if you find a deer over that 175, 180 mark, in most western hunting units, that would not be a deer you would ever pass on under most circumstances. And we had the opportunity nearly every day to glass up and find and debate and try and decide if that was a mule deer that we would want to take. And time again, we would walk away. And as we would move on, I was left scratching my head and shaking my head and talking to the other gentlemen that were here with me that I can't believe I just passed on that deer. I can't believe I let that deer walk away. But time and time again, we did it here in the Jicarilla, and under most circumstances, you never ever would. What a well-managed area to have the opportunity to know that you'll see more, and never one time did that disappoint.
After the break, Chad and the crew cross paths with a buck Chad can't resist.
You know, during the rut, you want to cover as much ground as you can. You know, prime times, early morning, late in the afternoon. So what we did was hit the lower sagebrush flats up to rolling hills. Then we change it up a bit, and we're covering ground. We're moving, scanning, drive, stop, scan, drive. And then we'd get up the tabletops, the mesas, and glass. Do a lot of glassing, do that till, you know, late afternoon, get back off the mesas, and the race is on again. Here we go. We're covering ground, and that worked for us. We saw a lot of deer really running and gunning. I mean, it did pay off.
There are several deer that stand out. One in particular, as we were moving along, we came across just a tremendous deer, bodied deer standing behind a tree. And as he came out, we were just awestruck at how fantastic this deer was, and just wondering and having the weight of that decision, is this the time, is this the one? A big, heavy bodied deer that we once again let walk, and to continue on and the pursuit of more trophy big game. And the other one that stands out in my mind was early one morning, we looked up to see some does and saw a tremendously heavy buck standing up on the ridge just above where we were, and watched him and debated, and probably one of the heaviest deer that we saw as far as mass. And just, again, making the decision that the hunt continues and that the pursuit of trophy mule deer goes on. One of the biggest challenges hunting here in the Jicarilla is being selective. There are a lot of great trophy quality animals here, big bucks, and we would spend a lot of our time looking over bucks and just picking them apart, you know, their size and width and height, and just measuring them out, giving a field score as best we can, and trying to find the right buck for Chad. So looking over a lot of deer. The nice thing is the high buck to doe ratio virtually guarantees that when you spot does, there's going to be a buck around, if not 2 or 3 bucks. And so the work really is being a good judge and being able to field score quickly before those bucks move out of sight. We found a great buck yesterday, bedded buck, couple 100-yard shot, and would have been a great opportunity for Chad. And Chad's a mule deer junkie. He just loves hunting mule deer, and it's been really hard for him to pass on these high-quality bucks. Shortly thereafter, we moved down into some sage flats, and we had some bologna and cheese sandwiches, and I decided to put the binos up and on the tripod and just glass while we're enjoying a sandwich, and just happened to spot that buck skunking a doe, and knew he was a really good quality buck, really wide, and that's something that was important to Chad. He wanted to take a nice wide 30-inch buck, and we watched him for a little while, and that buck actually, didn't like us being there. He moved into some denser cover, and Chad decided that was a buck that he wanted to harvest, and our initial shot opportunity at that buck, he was standing in some dense cover, so we really didn't have a good quality shot. The buck just happened to move off, and as he was coming around this rock ledge, I think the buck wanted to get a better look at us, so as he moved into a better position for himself, it just so happened to be a better position for us to shoot from as well. I was trying to get the buck in the glass, and was able to whistle and get the buck to stop just perfect for Chad to get down behind the scope and put the hurt on him.
The Best of the West is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Zeiss spotting scopes and range-finding binoculars. Huntin' Fool. The Best of the West shooting systems. Defiance Custom Actions. The Wild Sheep Foundation. Huskama Optics and LongRangeStore.com. For more information about hunting on the Jicarilla, please call 575-759-3255 or visit online at jicarillahunt.com. For more information about the products and gear used on today's show, please visit LongRangeStore.com or call 1-866-754-7618.
And once the deer moved into position, we got set up, had a good prone rest, about 310 yards, and had the opportunity to take one of the most majestic Western trophies that anyone could hope for, a big world-class mule deer. What'd you see?
He smoked him. He's dead as a doornail.
Yeah, man. Nice job. Nice job. Woo! What a buck. What a buck.
Took us a moment to decide if we had a good hit or a good shot. The deer went down immediately. So there was an awkward delay of silence until we discovered that he had dropped right where we shot. When we originally spotted this deer, he was down in the sage running some does, and he had moved up for cover even during the middle of the rut to safer ground where he felt comfortable behind some trees and up in some cliffs, and left his does. And as we were hiking up there, it was raining, the ground was wet, it was quiet, and we just had the opportunity to walk up on just a tremendous mule deer. It's nice and wide, just a beautiful buck, and 350 yards or so. Best of the West rifle, and just smoked him. It was, what a great deer. Couldn't be happier. Really grateful to Audie, and great job he did, and the Jicarilla with their game management. Just second to none. An amazing hunt.
All good things come to an end. On day 4, early afternoon, Chad's Jicarilla mule deer hunt came to an end. Great buck, wonderful memories of the laughs, the animals, the scenery, and just the overall experience with the guys. I will always be grateful for this opportunity.
It was an amazing hunt.
Chad,
Audie,
congratulations.
thank you very much.
Good job, Audie.
Paul,
You showed
enjoyed
us,
it.
You showed us some
Enjoyed
amazing
it.
mule deer, world-class mule deer, non-stop, every day. Never more than an hour or two without coming across just a giant, most of them typical. Seemed like that was the dominant gene. Just amazing quality deer. Thank you so much.
My
It's been a
pleasure.
pleasure, Audie.
My pleasure. Had a wonderful time.
Great time. The opportunity to have a native guide in a world largely unexplored and very limited hunting opportunity has been a tremendous opportunity to be with one of those ancestors of the Jicarilla Reservation, to pursue trophy mule deer. And we pursued well over a dozen world-class trophy mule deer. And to have that opportunity has been one of the great blessings of my hunting career, and hope that I have that opportunity again someday.